Hey everyone, it's Matt Abdoo from Pig Beach Barbecue, and today we're going to be showing you how to do some kid-friendly, child-approved pork fajita quesadillas. That's right, using nothing but the best Prairie fresh pork tenderloin. This dinner is going to have your kids come and run into the table time and time again. We're going to show you just how easy it is, and I'm super excited to share this recipe with you. So come on in and let's show you how it's done. Now is a great time to press pause and check out the ingredient list. As you're going to see, all the ingredients are laid out step by step with all the quantities good to go for you. First thing we need to do is make our seasoning for the fajitas. Now the seasoning for the fajitas is super easy, it's super simple, and it's made with lots of things that are probably already existing in your pantry. First we're going to start off with a little bit of kosher salt. Put that in our bowl. A little ground black pepper. Some granulated onion. A little bit of granulated garlic or garlic powder. Some chili powder, a little bit of ground cumin, some dried oregano, and last but not least, a little bit of sweet paprika. Now we're just gonna take all these ingredients, put them in our mixing bowl, and we're gonna really quickly and simply just give them a nice stir together just to mix all of those spices together. And already it's smelling like that classic fajita flavor that just is making me salivate and getting me super excited to make this dinner for my kids tonight. We're gonna take our pork tenderloin that we've cut into 1/4-inch strips, and we're just gonna start taking our fajita spice and seasoning mix and just season it all over the pork. We're gonna use every last bit of it to get all that really incredible flavor into our pork tenderloin. And just using a pair of tongs, we're just gonna toss the meat together, just make sure that seasoning gets all over the meat. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this meat sit in the seasoning for about 5 minutes to really help those spices marinate the pork tenderloin strips, and then we're gonna get to our pan to start cooking them up with our peppers and onions. Okay, so we've let our pork tenderloin marinate in that beautiful fajita seasoning mix. Now it's time to start browning it off with our peppers and onions to put together our pork fajitas for the base of our kid-friendly pork fajita quesadillas. Our pan is nice and warm. To the pan, I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon worth of vegetable oil. And we're gonna just swirl around the pan. Once we start to see those ripples in the pan, that's exactly what we're looking for. And just a little bit of smoke to come off of the pan, which means the oil is nice and hot and ready to start sizzling for our marinated pork strips. So we're gonna take our pork tenderloin strips that have been seasoned in this delicious fajita seasoning mix, and we're just gonna take them, though there's no right or wrong way to do this, we're just gonna take them all and put them right into the pan. Immediately start hearing that sizzle over medium-high heat. And all we're gonna do is just get these strips all nice and browned off. Okay, so it's been about a minute. Our pan is nice and hot. The pork's starting to get nice and cooked on that bottom side. We're gonna start taking the pork and just give it a mix to stir it all around. Getting all that pork just to be nice and cooked through. Get all those seasonings to really jump with flavor. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It smells so good right now. All right, and after we have the pork all cooked on that one side, we're gonna give it about another minute just to finish browning off that bottom side. We want to have a plate ready to transfer the pork from the saute pan to hold it on to reserve, because next is going to go in the sliced peppers and onions. All right, our pork tenderloin strips are nice and cooked. I'm feeling pretty good about this. We're now going to transfer them out of our saute pan and put them on a plate to reserve, because they're going to go back in once our peppers and onions are nice and cooked. Now I'm going to reduce my heat to medium-low. We still have all that oil from the bottom of that pan from browning off our pork tenderloin. We're going to leave it all in. And to that, we're going to add about 1 more tablespoon of fresh vegetable oil. And time to add in our sliced red bell peppers and sliced white onions. We're going to get these all nice and cooked till they're soft and translucent. It's going to take about 5 minutes. And then at that point, we're going to put our pork tenderloin strips back into it and toss it all together so we have our protein ready to assemble our quesadillas. Cooking these peppers and onions in the oil that's left in the pan from the pork really helps adhere that fajita flavor, because it permeates that oil to give it all that incredible flavor within the peppers and onions themselves. All right, so we're gonna give this about 5 minutes to let the peppers and onions cook till they're nice and soft, and then we'll be ready for the next step. All right, our peppers and onions are nice and soft. They take on a lot of great color from the seasonings in the pan. Time to add our seasoned cooked pork tenderloin strips back to it. All the juices and everything. And we're just gonna give that a quick mix to get all the peppers and onions mixed in with that seasoned pork tenderloin. And our fajita meat is ready to go. Okay, now that our meat is cooked and tossed with our peppers and onions, we're gonna transfer it to a bowl and have it ready and waiting to assemble our pork fajita quesadillas. All right, so we got my nephew Samuel here to help us assemble these beautiful, kid-friendly quesadillas. You like quesadillas, don't you? Aren't they delicious?
But only make the good quesadillas.
Well, that's right. Well, we're gonna make these delicious pork quesadillas, fajita quesadillas. So that's right, we're just gonna build them all up. And what I love doing about this is that they're so kid-friendly. The kids.
But I thought you were making tacos.
Well, we're gonna make tacos later, but right now we're finishing up these pork quesadillas. So keep putting that pork on the fajita, on the tortilla. This is one of those really great things to get the kids involved in. You want me to help you?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get.
I'm not going to do this.
No, you're doing great. Keep it up. So we're gonna keep it all in the one half of the tortilla. We got our pork tenderloin seasoned with those fajita spices, a bit of those peppers and onions.
The cheese can be better.
Yeah, the cheese. All right, now it's time.
Then you don't need to just wash it.
That's right. Now you're just gonna make it rain cheese all over the top of the pork. Go for it. Big handfuls. Just throw it on there. And what's really great about this, guys, is you can really cherish the time you have with your family and friends and loved ones, right? Making delicious pork fajita quesadillas.
I know what that picture's about.
We sure do. So the next step, Sam, we're gonna take this, just fold it over.
Yeah.
We're gonna fold this over, make a little half moon shape.
But you thought it was my turn first to go to the train, but they wanted to just do it first. And you know what that's really about?
That's right. So the next thing, guys, once the fajita is all folded over, the quesadilla is folded over, we're gonna bring it back to our pan over medium heat, about 2 minutes aside to get it nice and browned and crispy. And the cheese is melted, then we're gonna cut it up and be ready to have dinner on the table. You ready to eat?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. He says he's ready to eat, so we're gonna finish figuring out these quesadillas and have them ready. So we're just gonna take our quesadilla in a large saute pan over medium heat, press it in about 2 minutes per side in a non-stick pan. You don't need any oil or anything on this. And it's gonna be about 2 minutes aside, and then we're gonna give it a flip and brown it off so it's all nice and crunchy and that cheese is melted and ooey gooey delicious, and time to have dinner on the table for the kids. All right, it's been about 3.5 minutes for this side. We're gonna take our quesadilla and give it a flip. Oh yeah, we got that nice golden brown crunchy crust that's happening on this one side. Cheese is already starting to melt. About another 3.5 minutes on this other side, and our quesadilla is gonna be ready to cut up and serve to the kids. All right, our quesadilla is beautifully browned off. It's nice and crispy. The cheese is melted. The pork is hot. We're gonna slide it out onto a cutting board. And just using a knife, we're gonna cut it into whatever size pieces we'd like. I'm gonna cut this into 4 pieces for my nephew. 1, 2, 3, 4. Check this out. Oh, baby. Look at that. Well, here we got it, guys. The kid-approved, child-friendly pork fajita quesadillas, making with nothing but the best Prairie Fresh pork tenderloin. Dinner's on the table in about 15 minutes with all of this delicious flavor. Garnish it with some guacamole, some salsa, some sour cream, or whatever you have, your favorite things in your refrigerator that you love serving up with your quesadilla. So, hope you guys enjoy this recipe. Try it, cook it. I guarantee the kids are gonna love it. And now more than ever, it's really a great time to spend those meals with your family and just embrace them through the love of food. Till next time, ciao for now.